We have found each other. Let's get back to the one place we always want to come back to. There within ourselves. Be aligned with what has brought you here. That which is living you, that's having you show up to join in this yajna, this offering. So we take a time out of our day and we organize our consciousness to serve something greater. And that offering is a swaha, a giving up of that which separates us, giving up that which keeps us in the thrall of our ignorance, of our habits, to breathe a different quality of being, to bring it forward, to make it real. And from that place, within ourselves, we are in that moment an expression of what it is we'll call in today. Because it is what has always lived us. It is what is always the truth of our own existence. It is that self-existent reality that you are, we all are, that we all share. It is an act of devotion. In sacrifice, in letting go, in being willing to do this versus all the other things you could be doing. What is living you? What is coming forward in your personality? Is that eternal being, the ocean of endless love, the possibility we all carry as awake, self-aware human beings, to align ourselves with a purpose greater than our own self-interest. So what we do in the World Awakening meditation is we need to start from our awakening. We start from that in us which is awake, which is connected, which can feel that central quality of oneself. And then we open ourselves up like a prayer. We open ourselves up to a greater power to come in and to use us as a vessel for it to manifest greater love, greater truth, to begin a process of awakening that which has long been hidden, veiled, or in slumber, so that it can be converted into something that can serve a greater unfolding. We are at a tipping point. We are at that threshold. It's a this or that moment. This whole creation would not exist if there was a 1 billionth millionth more energy in the initial Big Bang. It would have expanded into infinity and never organized as matter. And if it was 1 million billionth less energy, it would have collapsed in on itself. As many people die each day, there are born +1. We live in an incredible balance that's just held by grace. And that grace is here for one purpose, for us. For us to awake to the miracle of that grace, of the preciousness of each moment. In this dimension, it's always changing. What is born will pass. What comes into existence will leave existence. The only thing that remains is that very foundational quality of your awakened being. It's the one that knows the 1,000 yugas of day and the 1,000 yugas of night. It's the one that has lived all your lives. So we use this structure as a practice, but also as an event for those of you who can actually open up to the force we will be bringing in today. And open it up as an act of service, not particularly for yourself, although that definitely comes. What we evoke is the incarnation force. This is a rare force that only comes where there's a precarious tipping point, where there's times where the darkness is about ready to defeat the opportunity of evolution. It comes with unique power. I call it the Sat force. The Sat Shree force. So it's Sat does not do anything. It's the eternal, absolute, non-existent, attributeless that exists before everything else, that holds everything else. And out of that comes the Shree, comes the Sat Shakti, comes this incarnation force from the source. And even in our own little universe, in our own little domain, we human beings can now peer 13.7 billion years in time and see the beginning of this universe. That little artifact human beings created is now capable of peering into the origins of creation. And I know what's happened. It's noticing us. It's being noticed. Nothing else in the creation could have done this, except self-aware beings who have been able to organize themselves and master themselves enough to master nature and to convert nature into this alchemic, miraculous possibility for material existence. And we take it all for granted. How quickly forget what life was without your iPhone, what life was without Google Maps. How quickly we are in this threshold of change and change and change and change and change, and how little appreciation we have of the forces that are allowing that to happen. Therefore, how tenuous this time is. How great and full of potential. But we're at that tipping point. Can this ground, can this get real in a way that's sustainable, in a way that the evolutionary opportunity and the role human beings have to play in that can be fulfilled, can leap into the next humanity? So we're here to evoke this force, to bring it into your own experience, into your own body, into your own awareness, into your own consciousness together. And in this structure that we've been doing for many years now, it is strong enough to hold the forces that are involved in the level of consciousness. Because that's what we have. Consciousness. We can be aware of our consciousness. We can apply our will to direct our consciousness in a way that serves something more than where it's been lost previously. So in an act of swaha, of self-giving, we offer up this ceremony for something greater and truer to manifest in us and through us. So I'm honored to be with you. I realize how precious these gatherings are, and how precious you are to join me and all of us in this time, at this time.